Hey, this is Sasha. Thanks for joining me in today's video. What I want to share with you today is how to start a YouTube and beauty and makeup channel and how to grow it and make more money from it online. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about that in this video. All right, so there's a lot of hype and talk about, hey, I want to start a beauty and makeup channel. I want to go ahead and make some money from my YouTube videos. So what is it that I go ahead and do? You'll probably have heard a lot of YouTube channels talking about, hey, you got to go ahead and have the great lighting. You got to have great tutorials, and you got to go ahead and make videos that are fun and engaging. And although that's all true, most people don't talk about the business behind it. And I'm here to share with you, you're probably wondering, why am I here talking to you about beauty and makeup channels? It's because I get a lot of questions about it. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, really, I've talked to people who have beauty and makeup channels. Why? Because we run a video agency. This is one of the companies that I run, and we stumble across beauty and makeup channels, and we have conversations with people who run beauty and makeup channels and a business, and we're looking at their business, how to optimize their business, how to make their business run more efficiently. And if you're interested in that, you can check out some of our services: video editing, thumbnail design, YouTube optimization, management, channel review, and much more at videoacorn.com. So here, I'm going to share with you some insight to really building a business around your beauty and makeup channel. So stay tuned. All right, so here we are at the glass board, and really the question is where does the money come from? Yes, you need some of the other things like, good personality. You got to be engaging, fun videos, good lighting, good makeup tutorials. Yes, all that is important. But where does the money come from? Where does the funding come from? Because if you don't have funding, that's the blood, that's the lifeline to your business. And most people, what they think about is, one or two things, but they don't think of the bigger picture. So I want you to think of your business as kind of like a table or a Parthenon. It's got legs, right? And the more legs that you have to your business, the more stable it's going to be. So if you have more legs and more legs, it's kind of like having income streams. Your building and structure can be more solid, and that's what you want to get to. So in either case, what we want to talk about is initially a couple of points to think about. So number one is people think about ad revenue. So you look at ad of revenue here. And when you look at ad revenue, this really comes down to kind of sponsorships. So how do sponsorships work out in a beauty and makeup world? Well, think about it this way. If somebody goes ahead, not only YouTube ads, right? This is the first thing that people think about. Not only YouTube ads, but what about sponsorships from big makeup artists? So sponsors, let's say from big companies. So if they go ahead and sponsor you, again, depending on your channel, depending on the rates, depending on the type of the videos you produce, let's say you go ahead and make anywhere between $200 and $1,000 per video. And if you go ahead and do that, you go ahead and either put them in the intro, put them in the outro, this video is sponsored by, now you've got yourself a business. You make 4 videos a month. Look at that. You make 4 videos a month, you're up to $4,000 per month. There you go, right there. And you've basically got some sort of revenue coming in. Now, nobody's going to pay you for nothing. So you got to show proof that you're worth the sponsorship. So you got to have other great content, you got to have the traffic, you got to have the views, and so on. But that's where initially the money can come from. Can you land a multi-year deal, 6-month deal, 1-month deal, that kind of thing? Well, some of those deals, they can be in the range of, let's just put a number out there, $100,000 if we go ahead and you're my 1-year sponsor. So that's one way to discuss about it. Of course, those things are dealt with on the phone. They just don't go ahead and then they negotiate, hassle, and so forth. It's not just about, let's put in the credit card number, buy it, now you're sponsored. That's about building a relationship. So they might do ad buys for a month, a couple videos first, then a month, and then you might get to that point. And then this is just a number to just start the discussion. And they can go up or down depending on what you do. Okay, so that's part one. So we're looking at ad revenue or sponsorship. So that's number one. Let's look at number two. And I'm not saying that number one is the best form. There could be other forms of income depending on how you structure your channel. If it's got a lot of views, the advertising might be peaked, or meaning it might be the primary. Okay, let's look at number two. Actually, let's do it in green. Number two, let's look at a product. Here's an interesting thing. Do you have a product that you sell? A product maybe that you've created. Maybe that's a little more difficult in the beauty and makeup space. You might say, hey, well, I didn't really create any makeup. I didn't really make any makeup. But do you have maybe something like regarding anything with a facelift? Anything with maybe massaging tips, a guidebook, anything like that? Maybe your morning routine that's bundled up and packaged for $9 that you can get and download. Some people might be interested in that. My daily routine or workout regimen or system. What is it that I use? All of a sudden, now you've got something. And if you don't, well, let's say there's affiliates. So now you can promote other people's products and get a cut. So let's say you go ahead and promote some kind of makeup, some kind of health related product, and now you can get a cut, let's say 10%. Let's say you make $10 off of the $100 item, and now all of a sudden you've got exposure to selling a product. So there we go. Ad revenue, product. 1, 2. 2 things making you revenue. Now, if you had created a product, there's another thing. If you have multiple products, there's multiple things within the product segment. If you're doing an affiliate, there's even more things in the product segment. So now you got ad revenue, you got product, and what's the third thing? Okay, number 3, I'm going to tell you it's a service. So people are interested in also some kind of service, some kind of connection. For example, carpet cleaning. For example, massage parlors. When we're talking about beauty, makeup, space, it's a done for you. Maybe you come and I do it for you, and I go ahead and put makeup on you. But in this internet space, you might not be able to do that. But what about a coaching and consulting? So if you want to go ahead and do some coaching, consulting, because everybody's skin is a little bit different, all of a sudden you're getting into this kind of world where, hey, I could coach, I could consult, I could give you a plan specifically for you of what to do that makes sense for you, for your body type, for your look, for your face, for your type of skin color, that makes you 100% better. So now you've got ad revenue, product, and a service, and together all these things create a business. Now you've got multiple legs to your building, to your Parthenon, and stability. The problem with a lot of beauty and makeup people, what they do initially, and this is why a lot of them fail, because I've worked with them, and what happens is they just focus on YouTube ad revenue. They focus on this one little thing, YouTube ad revenue, and even now it takes a long time to just get YouTube ad revenue. But if you can focus on sponsorships, and especially doing the initial sponsorship deals, showing proof that, hey, I could go ahead and be sustainable for the long haul, maybe you give them a break on the sponsorships and do it cheap and cost effective, but it gets you money coming in quickly, right? Like that. Same thing with the affiliates. You need a little more traffic, but if you've got a product, all of a sudden 100% of the earnings are yours. So if you have a product created, especially when you don't have a lot of customers to deal with at the beginning, because later on, once you're dealing with a service, coaching and consulting, you have some management to do with your customers. But at the beginning, you don't. So go ahead and focus on creating some products and services. This is the way money is made. The big money is made. And as you ramp these up, just think about multiplying them by, hitting 500 people. How can you hit 500 people in terms of your product or your service? Or maybe instead of single coaching, you start getting into group coaching. Ad revenue. Can you deal with, instead of 1 sponsor, maybe 3 sponsors or 10 sponsors? So how do you ramp these things up, accelerate exponentially? This is how money is made. This is where the money comes from in a business when you're talking about any kind of business really on YouTube or online, but specifically, let's look at the makeup industry. Let's look at makeup tutorials, beauty tutorials. This is where the revenue is coming from. All right, so there you go. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, and you want to see some other great things that I have available to download, check out our website at backstageincome.com. There's a lot of freebies and tips, techniques, and tricks to a lot of great things about building a business online. And if you need some help with your video editing, video optimization, or YouTube channel, check out videoacorn.com. Anyways, with that being said, I'm here to sign out. So get those freebies here, subscribe, or check out some other great videos. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.